We, again, I think have been watching him for a long time. He started playing on those LDLC rosters with Lambert back in 2022, which he would have been, 18 years old at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen him grow up a lot across different rosters. He's had stints as the IGL as well in LDLC, and I believe Gen 1 as well. Doesn't have to focus on that here. And maybe he's not always going to have the most eye-popping stats, but take a look at his positioning, take a look at his maneuvers. To me, he's a player who's got a brain on him, and I think he's definitely one to watch for the future of France.
He hasn't actually been playing his best CS for the last few months, so we hope that that course changes. It's been lucky. It's been Maka, and Body, at least in his few games so far, has been a monster. So, adding Graffiti, and we are cooking with gas.
Yeah. Look at the call early on. We're starting on Anubis. It's Heroic's pick. 3D Max have loved this map a lot. It's interesting to me that Heroic would pick into this. I'm not actually sure what the recent statistics are for 3D Max on this map, but the Frenchies have enjoyed this in the past. Seems like that's cooled recently. Let's see if they can reignite some love. Double push out cave. That's going to be punished. It's exactly what 3D Max were waiting for, and they're going to get some success on it. If the bomb can slip in towards B, this is big trouble. All three players are rotating out that A main push. Don't keep spamming, Maka. You got to get the bomb down. If this drops in cave, they are in big trouble. Oh, boy. He's going to throw it forward. The Molotov almost covers this off. But now this is going to be a whole lot more difficult of a situation. Smoke goes up to provide this cover. Lucky is so low. He cannot plant to open. Can't afford the risk. So plant back of the obelisk. Towards CT spawn. Try and play this one out as long as he can. Long rotation from Sampaius around the world to get in position to do something about this.
There's no kit. Do they really have time to mess around like this? There's not going to be a lot of time by the time they're near that bomb. They need to go.
These post plants should be tough to deal with. You got to go looking, and Youngster knows this. Oh, can't land the shot. Eventually we'll get it, but as you said, time is the issue now, and the bomb's planted for Lucky. He knows he just has to pull that diffuser off. But he can do no such thing. Time enough to get this bomb defused, and that is going to be a round stolen away by the tips of their fingers by Heroic.
Yeah, just about. Wow, I think it was such a slow retake that 3D Max thought it has to be a flank from somewhere.
They thought there was a player still alive on site, I think. Stalled that cave player out, and...
I think 3D Max would be kicking themselves there. They really should have won that after plant.
Hold on, we got an XM second round from Tanir. Where are we going,
I feel
Tanir?
like I've seen this before from Tanir.
I love it.
This feels like a very Tanir play to me.
Yeah, that Forza team did like to buy creatively sometimes. Where's Tanir? He's playing... Oh, this is interesting. He's playing Pizza or Jail on B, which it'll work if they come through, but what it limits is a lot of the times you want that player to be able to go for aggression out B main, and the XM is not exactly the ideal gun for that sightline. So if they come into B, he's going to feast. If he has to come to them, I might regret some decision-making.
I somewhat evilly hope he has to retake with it, because that would just be hilarious. Especially a long flank around here towards canals.
The XM's even harder to justify now that the FAMAS is only 1950 and the spray's better on it. Like, I love a shotgun buy, but I think, unfortunately, the cheaper FAMAS is going to lead to even fewer of them.
Very slow round from 3D Max. So we've claimed mid. Clearly quite well poised to try and split A here, but Heroic grabbing lots of information. And it always was just pistols without armor, without util. They'd love a plant here for 3D Max, but that is most unlikely, if not impossible at the moment.
Tanir got the XM kill as well. So that's how you do it. You send your rifle out looking. You withdraw the shotgun. Alright, spot onto the one. But this has just been a complete non-starter for 3D Max. Team Ace across the board for Heroic. Here's an interesting one. Tanir couldn't get off that shotgun, so he still got the XM, and they know about the XM now. Does that change anything about what you call here for 3D Max?
I don't think so. It's not like it's an AWP. And you know, really changes the util you use. Maybe you don't contact into like dark or something. But no, I wouldn't afford to place too much on your mind. What you might know, presumably some pious lived with a rifle, so you might be able to gauge that there is no AWP on the server. That is more critical information.
They've shifted Tanier up entirely. He's playing A this round. So this is positionally very fluid. At least early days for Heroic.
Don't necessarily blame them. It's holding B on a gun round with that. As soon as 3D Max use their util to claim E-box or Dark, it's just impossible, isn't it, to play backside.
Look at all this space being allowed in middle. Oh, he's getting a lot of ground. When this smoke fades, they're going to realize it. It's LNZ holding quite passive from camera for the mid control, which means that if they get past him, if they drop a smoke there, the B players are in trouble. And recognizing that
set is all well and good for A tunnels, but it's really telegraphed. It lets 3D Max know that mid has to be lesser defended. And look at the space Body is taking. This could be the round. Okay, so Pius is looking in his direction, but if they come out of main and dark at the same time, he can't look in 3 spots simultaneously. And there you go. This defense never stood a chance.
No. As soon as body's crossed, that's just a problem. It's interesting as well that so the way that that 3D Max approached it, subtle detail here, but LNZ had started the rotation back into heaven to rotate around to support B. They throw a flash for the camera peek instead of a smoke, which puts that doubt in LNZ's mind that this could still be finishing A, it could still be an A split, and freezes him up in the rotation while also not giving the information confirmed over that body had actually crossed. So it puts some Pius in just a miserable position of how do you play this, pick your poison kind of thing. And from there, it's just lights out.
Well, presumably LNZ was throwing support with util for the A main retake. That sequence from Heroic reminds me a lot of how lesser teams back in the day would play Inferno, where they'd do these insane banana retakes with 3 Molotovs. This is before you could drop nades, with 2 or 3 Molotovs, all the flashes, all the smokes, and it's one of those things that looks so good on a YouTube video. It looks brilliant. It's clean, it's crisp, but you've just showed the other team you've got numbers towards B, and they're going to run on A and win the round. And I think maybe from Heroic there, it's just so telegraphed with all that util that I think 3D Max had an easy call actually to take mid. Granted, body pushed the envelope so much. A tremendous play, but it was quite an easy read for the Frenchman.
Did you see the clips of Graffiti and Apex trash talking on LAN in French?
I have not.
I would recommend.
What was Graffiti saying?
Graffitis were a little less creative. Apex had some tremendous ones. He said there was one comm. It was like everyone's on A. Why did you go A? Even my mother was on A. ESL published a clip of it with the translation with the subtitles. 10 out of 10 watch. Would recommend. It was a great exercise in my French comprehension to try and live translate them going back and forth.
You'd love to see it. Show some character. Very dynamic CT side from Heroic. Bit of a mid take here. A little bit into the round. Some Pius bides his time. They're behind spamming. Keep some Pius alive for now. So mid is locked down. 3D Max going to have to go elsewhere if they want any control immediately. Could be a fight in here soon. Nice angle from Xcloud, so I think he's quite content to hold on to A main for now.
It's a tough one for Xcloud, right? You got an ump and a molly. Not a lot of ways you can play this. Graffiti clears out the cave control. E-Box had its fuse changed.
The accent's still going.
Back in? No. Trade at least.
How's he still got it? He must have bought it again,
He
right?
rebought it. Yeah, he
Oh my
rebought the
lord, that's
XM.
amazing.
It's commitment to the bit, shall we say. X-Flood's in trouble. I mean, they're stacking, as they should, because at this point, this round is unlikely. 20 seconds. If they can stall out the bomb, maybe there's a chance here. If some pies can stay alive. Nice shot in the first. X-Flood gets one, but there's the trade. The duo up from 3D Max works out. It gets a little expensive, but they'll be happy to take the round.
It's looking good now for 3D Max. Money is completely broken. Have to be an eco now for Heroic. Mac is off to a nice start. As said, our information indicates that it's still Maka calling. For those that were around when Heats was playing and it was LDLC was the other French team, Maka and Body were not on the same team, so you never had this question. In fact, Lambert would have been calling as well at that point over Maka on LDLC. But, yeah, we'll wait and see how it develops with Body not calling. More freedom. Presumably still a very strong second voice, but
Sure.
I guess the big question is, can he return to being more of a star player, more of a focal point of his teams than he has been in the last year and a bit?
I think, yeah. I think in terms of the voice bounce, the only concern that you have is if there's a world where Body takes too much space and Maka is a little less confident in the calling as a result of that. I don't think that's likely. They certainly all know each other and they know the personality bounces, but that's one of the questions you can have is how easy is it for a player to give up the reins of calling, even if they're in a new environment. But I do think that Body thinking more about his crosshair is something that nobody wants to be up against in the server.
I think something it's quite crude that will just stop that from happening is 3D Max are just playing better CS than Heat did. They're playing better CS than Fnatic ever did with Body on that lineup. So I think it's quite easy for Body to come in here and say, I'll play my role. I want my spots. I want to play good individually, but I'm happy to continue whatever you guys are building because clearly it's working.
Right now, he's doing a great job as the brick being thrown through the window that is mid on Anubis. Doing a great job at taking space here, and that's just so difficult for CTs to deal with. You can see Heroic. They're trying the solution of CT aggression here, Canal's aggression, and that works, but it doesn't work when your mid gets shattered. Right? It's frequently an antidote, but the CT side on this map is just miserable because everything carries with it great risks. And this round, you're seeing why. They've totally abandoned the B site because Tanir has to be worried about the mid wrap. They know they've given up this space. It's Maka holding court in mid. You've got Exorcist on the periphery. And then 3 players are just about to dry run in towards an empty B site and almost certainly end this round.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, it's a tricky map to play at the best of times, but going a man down early just exacerbates all the woes of the defense. You feel like you have to take a risk, and there are no good risks really on the CD side of Anubis unless you've got a great read. This round is done. Okay, the bomb's not going down B.
What if they
now it's looping back. Exorcist.
Okay, they just wanted to reroute the routing in. They had the mid control, so there's no risk, right? Because of the positioning of the A player, because of the positioning of the mid player, there's no actual risk there to getting caught off. Which just looks a little odd.
I think they assumed that with lots of pressure being applied to B, that Heroic would over-rotate.
I think they may have just not wanted to cross CT in case there was an op on the angle.
Possible.
Oh,
no harm, no foul in the end. It's all good. This has been a very flat start on the gun rounds from Heroic. They have struggled to find anything in these rounds just yet. They should pause. These CT sides can get away from you very quickly. It's their map pick. As mentioned, the bracket in this qualifier is very favourable to just winning this upper bracket game. And frankly, you might not that 3D Max is a bad team, but you might get a more experienced side for qualification if you drop down.
Well, especially for 3D Max as well. They'll be playing at Cluj. So they've got games there starting Wednesday. Well, maybe not till Thursday. But anyway, they'll have counter coming their way before you know it.
There's 4 here. 4 on location.
Only pistols, though. Youngster! Getting himself an upgrade. Now through the smoke. This is dangerous. A 3D Max team that has been so very cautious through this map so far is now in big trouble. And one of the remaining players is an AWP, which is not really the gun you necessarily want to clear out these unarmored players. Oh boy. Find the stack and disaster strikes and mid-control in the hands of xFloud as well. How do 3D Max want to try and pick up the pieces of this round?
Got plenty of util. It'd be a lot easier if they had the bomb. But with that information, Heroic can just play their own positions. xFloud is just being so annoying. But he does go down. And not for that much HP expended. Flashbang surely coming in soon. Wally goes in first. The bomb is just outside up here, isn't it? So, yeah. More ground to traverse. This is not easy. Oh my lord! Glock in first from body, 8 HP. Can't get it done. And the pistols, in the end, do come good.
Wow. What a lifeline for Heroic. This one truly just off the pistols. Youngster, a bit of nice 5-7 work there in the E-box. This is immense. I mean, by the time 3D Max got back into position, they just had to commit. Even if they had recovered that bomb, there were only 15 seconds on the clock. Brutal one.
I don't think they misplayed that round. It's going to happen. You're going to run into stacks sometimes. But from the Heroic perspective, in a map where gun rounds so far have been pretty woeful, you need to build off this. Done a big, you put a huge dent in that terrorist side economy, and got to make good on that now.
Look at this space in mid. They've got everything. If they want to just split A here, there's little resistance. There's 2 players in the site, right? And now 2 rotating back through Temple, so they've got to be wary of this smoke fade. A re-smoke up. A deeper one as well.
Does that cover the right-hand side?
It does.
Okay.
It does indeed, and it gives them versatility.
No way.
This is such a risk. Oh, he's going to walk it? Ugh, I don't know about that one, Chief. Body will get a kill on the other side, but it is traded out. This feels like they're overcooking, perhaps. Tenier, though, under pressure. Tenier goes down. Molotov trades him. So he trades himself out from the grave. It is pressure on a Sunpius. Sunpius doesn't know which way to look, and so down he will go for free. We're in a 2-on-2 in the post. Sonny P caught slipping again.
I'm not sure there's a kit down.
So
they're not going to have a lot of time. I mean, there's HEs, but you'd love it. Okay, that's good. Still, though, without a smoke, you got to move fast.
Double nade in towards cave, if they identify that this is where the players are playing, could be potent. But yeah, there's not a lot of time. Now it's just that single one. Gotta swing. Trying to make it happen. L&Z traded out by the P250.
Smoke push is very ballsy from 3D Max. I thought Tenier had done enough. So the first player pushes the smoke into Tenier. The second person, after his teammate went down, was Body. He pushes the other side, thinking it could be clear. It wasn't, but he still killed Youngster. He falls to Tenier, but ultimately, Micro Prize has opened a lot of space. Heroic will feel very hard done by. Tenier is going to be looking at his teammates saying, I've just got 3 kills, done so much to prevent this wrap from happening, and still we lose it. Still yet to win a gun round. On the CD side of their map pick are Heroic.
It is Anubis. So these gun rounds can be few and far between. They can be tough to come by. If you get towards 4, preferably 5 rounds, it'll be fine. But getting that 4th could be a real bear of a task. As we well know. Oh boy, LNZ. As if it wasn't already bad enough to have to play the round unarmored with a USP. Well, now you've got 18 health. So if one of these AKs looks your direction, you're going to be like a dandelion in the wind.
Intrigued to see if Heroic changes up their mid-hold come the next gun round, because it has been predominantly free real estate, hasn't it, for 3D Max? And not that it's the be-all, end-all of this map, but it has allowed them such scope for options for splitting sites or just making Heroic so uncomfortable. Still, though, that's one round away. Heroic did win the previous lesser investments, so I guess we should pay attention, but this time the stack is not on B. The numbers are coming for 3D Max. This rifle here has to do a massive work.
This one feels a lot more straightforward. Smokes up. There's a boost. There's a boost. Cheeky boost. Gonna catch one. That's Maka as well. That's the op out of play.
No
and
way.
Second caught by the spam Tanir, just spraying them down on the flank. Some work done for Exorcist, and he's trying to prevent them from getting faster the rotation. So for the time being, at least, it's an isolated 1v2. And Exorcist is giving them that tick on the molly. Oh my goodness, Unpious. Still converts. Tough road. Health's not great, though. LNZ, again, doesn't have armor. So he's just going to be the fact-finding mission. That's an easy spray down on both. And Tanir now left to try and pick up these pieces without any support. He'll find the first. Health is low. No kit. No kit. And none retrievable. Taps the bomb to try and force the peek. There's that peek, but he doesn't have time. Time for the save to get a gun out of this. Another round stacked on. That's 6 for the 3D Max.
Let's give Tanir some credit. He's played a monster pair of rounds. He is not the reason Heroic is struggling on these gun rounds. Holy hell. He looks so crisp. Mechanics are flawless from the Belarusian. Yeah, if X-Cloud and Sunpice are on the server right now, this would be a fearsome defense.
Pious. Hitting the first. Trade out onto X-Cloud. So at least for the moment, even Stevens. Got some util, but ineffective, at least for the moment. Nothing really gained out of that, other than a little bit of a stall.
Still a different look from Heroic. X-Cloud somewhat hard done by there, by the molly sort of obscuring the vision. As you said, it's all even for the moment. Heroic reacting to a mid-push. LNZ goes looking. There's players underneath him. You can hear these men in towards the cave. Youngster's holding on to his molly for now, so it's a retake setup on B, but I'm not sure they're too despondent. The positioning is so good for this retake with the flank.
This is really weird. You had the glyph position. Maka slipping back into B main is huge, but he's not positioned in time. He gets caught. Now Sunpious takes one back from CT. This keeps them looking that direction. LNZ, meanwhile, striking from the flank. They are in trouble, all on Gravity, and he cannot deal with the swing. 4th round found. All important. Heroic now. It's gravy for these next few because the money is broken for 3D Max. They've done such a good job of being ahead for this long, but the money cracking now, this is trouble. If you give Heroic 5-6 rounds on this half, very much a ball in their court.
Yeah, those damaging lesser buys now paying huge dividends. Felt like the last round was the first one, at least on the guns, where Heroic were dictating the pace. They were the ones to make the first move. We like to see that on the CD side of a map like Anubis. It's somewhat the only way to play. Double smoke there for 3D Max, so a bit of a miscom. Hope they got enough for this execute in the end. I think they've only got one left, so Summer will have to be exposed. One of Tanir and Youngster will have clean sight onto this site.
Spray down. Chaos, Tech 9s, and 3D Max. Name a more iconic duo. You can't. Bomb's going down. Shows the wrong plant spot for that random nade. But look at the damage on the second. Okay. 3 on 4, though. Big risk to go for this retake. May not have the guns, but they've got the numbers, and that Molotov is timely. Freeze them out for just a second longer. Chaining the flashes to stall this. Whittling precious seconds off this clock. It's getting very tough for Heroic here. Need to get on this defuse. Need to get on this defuse. It has to be X-Cloud. He's got the kit. The spam will find him, though, and now it's over. Some Pious just desperately trying to cling to this op. You may break them, but the 3D Max will strike back harder than ever before.
That's a gut punch if I've ever seen one. Just has Heroic do the hard work. They lose to the pistols. B-side totally overwhelmed. There was a moment in that 3-on-4 where I guarantee you some of the Heroic players were thinking we should just save. They commit into it. They're down on rounds. But no bueno. Last of the half. It is still a decent investment from Heroic. And they still can get 5 out of this half, which, given the way it was going at moments, would still be quite an achievement. Sumpire sticks around, gets one more before he hits the grave. He's done his job. Tenier is a ballsy player. He does not need to face this too much.
He wants the impact. LNZ stuck between a rock and a hard place. No, spam on one side, Molly on the other. And eventually...
How did Molly not catch him? He must have been on the 1 pixel.
Edging the smoke. Finding that gap. Finding that space. But he did manage to trade himself out, so I mean, that's huge. Huge impact from what should have been a very compromised position. Exorcise can't get it done. So this last round is looking very good for Heroic for the moment. But it's Youngster in a one-on-one repositioning. Maybe at the wrong time. Lucky gonna swing him. No, he gets behind the pillar, gets the dink, gets the damage, and he'll get the kill to boot. 5 rounds for Heroic. It's a good base to play from in the second half, but 3D Max lead to send us to the break. back into the second half. It's a lead for 3D Max, but late gains from Heroic have very much made this an even ball game. Now we get to see their T side on their map pick. And if the game plan for Anubis is strong, the French squad could be in trouble. Mid-aggression early on for 3D Max. Never a team that likes to wait. They want the dynamic first punch. And Maka will find it. Able to slip away into the drop on the window. No one to punish it just yet, but he's in a very compromised position. Oh, man. Managed to snag one more kill and slip away unpunished by the A-Lurk at that. That is a masterstroke.
It's daylight robbery.
He's getting aggressive again. He's going back. He's not content. He's not content.
This one's too much.
But they're not
just play the advantage, Maka. And he's not been spotted. No way.
Now they're clear. Okay.
Still, though, he's baiting his teammate for mid. Tremendous impact from Maka. This round is so hard now for Heroic to win.
The routing is just impossible to deal with. Tenier trying to peg a bomb plant out of it. Lucky will not be affording him the opportunity. It's only 2 kills from Maka, but his movement, his tenacity in staying alive, his assertiveness in re-aggressing and sticking around for that second kill from the window position, it's all Maka for that round.
Ensured the third as well. He ensured Body got the kill on the bridge player. Yeah. Audacious. Tenacious. It's the mantra right now for 3D Max. Remember, guys, this is Heroic's pick. Heroic won the first pistol round, converted the anti-eco, and only got a couple more rounds out of that first half. Winner of this goes to Dallas. Loser heads to the hellfire that is our lower bracket. Big teams already waiting below. You do not want to be in there.
LNC desperately raging against that possibility. Running out of bolts on the Tech 9 and a nifty bit of jumping again from Maka. Looking like the movement king here early on. Makes
couple kills is nice, but that was a full force buy from Heroic. They wanted a plant. They wanted continual economic pressure on this CT side, and it's not going to happen. They'll have to heavy eco here.
X-Flood keeps...
Yeah, I know X-Flood fully bought in for a moment.
They're toying with it. Okay, all right. He's been slapped on the knuckles with a ruler. Sell that Galil, young man. This is all just about scraping a bomb plant. Look, if you hit some D shots, things can get interesting. But primary objective here is create a gap and scrape a bomb plant out of it. And that's why they go heavy pressure in mid to deny information to draw players around. Look at the gravity of what they've pulled in towards mid. 3 players. The A main lurk is gone, but it puts so much pressure. Speaking of gravity, on Graviti. Got a teammate back with him. Maka here in time, and that sets up his young gun. So it's a nice idea from Heroic. They really did create the vacuum that they were trying to do, but they failed to exploit it in time, so no bomb plant allowed, no opportunity.
Huge gun round. Big implications for this series. Win this 3D Max, especially if there's no plant for Heroic, you're probably up to 12. With a lot of chances to clean this up and put yourselves in a very favourable position on a map you love in Dust 2. Right, let's pay attention. How do 3D Max want to open up this round? Pretty default for now. 2-1-2. Waiting for their adversaries to make the first move. Flash though through, and look at this. Aggression out of cave. Like he's there for the trade. Mid though is exposed. Maka comes over to cover, but with a man to the lesser, there has to be an area of this map that's lesser defended. And check out the call from 3D Max. They're saying, we don't think it's A. We're going to lean B right now.
Wrong read. Free sight. Be interesting to see how much 3D Max wants to contest this once the bomb goes down. Smoke into camera means they can't even really rotate ahead of the thing. Bomb will be planted. Not a ton of util to get back through here. No smoke, certainly. This is a save.
You gotta save. You got no loss bonus. You've got a healthy number of rounds already on this defense. You don't need to feel any desperation. On the reverse, I think Tenier is starting to realize if he can take away guns, he will make his team's life a lot easier down the line. Stops at 1.
I don't imagine they want to hunt beyond this.
Yeah, that T money is yet to build up, so keep the AKs alive.
Still, the 1-for-1 exchange there is not bad, right? Tanier giving up his life is fine. You're going to have more than enough money to get this buyback around. Youngster can drop, some pies can drop.
We didn't catch much of it, but that initial mid-engagement was what swung the round. Cave wasn't too bad for 3D Max. A 1-for-1. This isn't like other maps. You kind of take that on Anubis if you're going to disrupt the default of the T side. Had a bit of info too, so yeah, if they'd have kept 4 players alive and held on to mid, it's not a bad position to be in. They really could have contested that round a lot closer, but as soon as it goes man down, they're forced into taking a risk, and you know, as we've seen with hindsight, it was the wrong call to load up B over A. Maka is feeling it today.
Yeah. Seems to just have a really nice read as well for... I mean, it's nice to be in that flow state as a caller, right? Where you can take your picks as an opera, also dictates where the presence is going to be, which then helps you position your teammates.
It's probably also worth saying that with someone like Body on the team, it means that if Maka wants to play different positions and switch it up, he knows he's always got another vocal piece in the middle of the map that can take on the leadership position in terms of commanding the players around him. So that is what someone like Body can add to this team that maybe they didn't have in the past.
Heroic have the Molotovs, but they don't have a lot to block off vision. So this next hit's going to be the hit. And look at the rotation here from 3D Max. They haven't seen anything at A in a while, so they're starting to get an idea. This smoke in, that's the indicator. That's the tip-off. 35 seconds. This is it. It's the B take, and there's 3 players here to defend, and 1 who can drop quickly into this Canals fight. There's that drop. There's that distraction. Graffiti can't pay it off for the second kill, though, and now they're in trouble. Some Pious coming out. Oh, my goodness. He gets a stay of execution. His Lucky flicks around, but they're out of time. That's the bomb drop. It's xCloud. He's got 20 seconds to put this together, and there's nothing working in his favor. Maka opened this round up, and so Maka will close it down.
That's a masterclass in CT Anubis from 3D Max. Maka first opening towards A, immediately rotates, information gained in mid at the same time. By the time Heroic hit B, they're running into 3 players as util down. Yes, it gets chaotic, but that's just Anubis. That's not 3D Max's fault. They're playing fabulous Counter-Strike at the moment. And now a very tough decision. I think Heroic needs to buy, man. I think they need to buy. xCloud and Tanier can get a good investment in. Galils aren't too expensive in this day and age. They can't afford to hand 3D Max 6 chances to win Heroic's map pick. Heroic needs Tanier right now. They need an individual outplay.
They do. They've had these moments, these flashes. But the sustained picture has meant that so often they come in rounds that are already lost. Oh, xCloud down early, trying to get aggressive, trying to get in their face, braving the Molotovs to do so. Look at the damage on LNZ as well. Big trouble for Heroic, and they've already spent most of their utility to do this mid-fight. That was the play. That was the setup. Was this mid-aggression, and it's been shut down. Tanier, gone. A re-clear back in. But he could get caught on the timing, but he's got Lucky working with him, so the trades are good. And Youngster alone. A MAC-10 to rage against the world. No control of the bomb. His position given up. A hopeless situation. Should be no world. He gets back in this round. Lucky is maybe getting a bit aggressive in this. I think Youngster might have caught a footstep there, but he seems to be having some difficulty tracking where exactly Lucky has gotten to. They're giving him that bomb.
Yeah, they don't know he slipped the net here.
Okay, there's the first. Hold on. If he had the C4, suddenly things would get very dangerous indeed, but he didn't stop to pick it up. And so instead, Lucky will clean this up. 20-8 is Lucky's individual scoreline as well. Credits to him. He's having a nice one.
It's been a rough day for xFloud. And we hate to, you know, harp on one player, but xFloud is in a lot of critical positions. He, in a lot of rounds, is going to be in that pack, which takes space on this map on the T side. And if he's not getting his numbers, if he's not finding headshots, a lot of those takes struggle to work. You're not going to get mid. You're not going to get into dark in good positions. Heroic then. Hail Mary call. Look at this. 4 outside of B main. They're just going to explode in. But in the meanwhile, 3D Max, third player's leaning over. They do find Lucky, though. In they go. Graffiti locking down Cave. There's no pumping the brakes now. All of the util is invested from Heroic. You've got to commit to this bomb site. So many players in towards Cave. 2 for bodies. An absolute brawl. Exorcist comes through. Macca's wondering where the hell is his team gone. 1-on-2 for him now.
Oh, is it worth risking? I don't actually think it is. The health is low, but the AWP is so valuable. He looks like he wants a route for the exits. I mean, if he can find both exits and live, it keeps Heroic on life support. But yeah, he's not going to give it a look. That was, I mean, 3D Max just decided to commit everything into the E-Box fight, and Heroic were ready to meet them. I think that one could have been on a knife's edge.
Yeah, it certainly was.
It was kind of a coin flip of who lives, who dies. But this coin flip at least goes the way of Heroic. Only one player surviving, though. It's going to be tenuous at best in the next round as well. There will be limitations, but the same will be true for 3D Max. There's a chance now. If Heroic can break them, we got a chance.
I think if Exorcist was 1 second sooner through that cave smoke, we're on Dust2. That was absolute madness from 3D Max. But it is somewhat part and parcel of the CD side of this map. Pause in for the Frenchman. I think Lucky will be kicking himself for getting picked before the hit could really get going from Heroic. He was the one out towards B main. Okay. A quick pause, quick discussion. A bit of money balancing as well. Couple Fami in the mix. But elsewhere, not too bad. Is Macca really going to go no util? So Macca's saving money.
Smoke up.
It might mean he's going to get aggressive as well.
A main peak? Could be. They're going 3 on B early on to counter any potential fast plays from Heroic. Macca pretty solo dolo, not playing the aggressive move, at least initially. This is interesting. They're taking E-Box. Here comes the mid control. Here comes the mid spacing. It's a good read from Heroic. This is where the gap was. Macca not on the angle. Body forced back. Not a ton of util either to hold on to this space to stall them out. So this is a very good call from Heroic. And now it seems like they want to split B.
3D Max need to make a decision. I mean, we saw this on the first half, didn't we? As 3D Max split through these back lanes so many times. And 3D Max have just committed to playing on this B site. Now Lucky adjusts, but too little too late, brother. You've left your teammates out to dry now as well. Graffiti doesn't know where to look. There's a player in behind him and he has no idea. No chance. Completely enveloped. They needed to react 10, 15 seconds earlier as a team and just take some map control.
Yeah, you wonder if that's comms coming over from the A players where, I mean, Lucky's clearly not aware of the timing. Does not realize they can already be in Temple on him. That's a tough round for 3D Max. That feels like the first round on this second half where Heroic have just completely bamboozled them.
Certainly. I mean, the other round wins for Heroic have been, you know, fingernail stuff, getting it over the line.
Speaking of which, clinging to these guns is about to be fingernail stuff. Macca will hit the first, but there's a lot of incentive to hunt here for Heroic. One found. Second as well. Buddy didn't know which way to look, and now there's nothing saved through, and that's money broken. That's an eco on 3D Max, and Heroic have suddenly shifted this conversation. Overtime is looking very possible.
Just a couple gun rounds to go. The next one as well won't be all the bells and whistles. Mac will have the glass cannon, I think, if he wants to warp. Certainly will, unless he finds a kill. Okay. So important that Heroic just keeps this clean. Keep the AKs alive. You don't want to be playing on Galils any longer. And for them, it's just one round at a time. I think it's been Lucky that's had a sleeper really good game. Maka, Graffiti maybe had the star moments, the flashy plays, the big opening kills, but round in, round out, Lucky's been putting in an absolute shift.
Well, it's LNZ, who's at the Eco Factory right now. Sticking them in the mold, he's popping out $600. Money made for the IGL. Can get rid of that MAC-10 now. No reason to hang on to it. LNZ, there's no reason to hang on to it. LNZ, you have $8,000.
He actually really needs to. They should all be buying pistols as well. They should be leaving nades on the ground even.
Okay, there's the upgrade. Okay. Thank you. Voice of reason. Like, I understand wanting to run a fast play or something, but come on. If you lose a round, it's done.
Even then, just go Tech 9 in the hand of the AK on the back.
Yeah.
So Maka choosing rifle armor full util over forcing the AWP out. We saw this aggression earlier. Oh, get out of there, Lucky. Get out of there. It's not worth it.
The classic, if I can just get this HE out, and... No, you cannot. You cannot. Lucky survives. So 1-for-1 exchange there actually isn't very favorable for 3D Max, and now Lucky does not have the stall out util for this. It's been deployed. The smokes are down. 3D Max are going to be operating pretty dry for the rest of this. They've got one more smoke on XSCs, one flash on Maka. Tough situation here, but that makes it a whole lot easier. Oh no, LNZ is so fortunate to be alive right now. That might have been the move from Maka. That might have been the balls out play. Spot on the first. Flashbang timing is good. They don't realize there's still one here. Glyph, now they know. Now they know, and Lucky cannot get this kill. Oh boy. These kills have been so tenuous, but Lady Luck has smiled on Heroic in this round. Millimeters away from disaster. But it is going to be a 10th round for Heroic.
It looked like Tania was full blind when he found the opener running onto that site. Maka is... He's playing some wild Counter-Strike at the moment. A lot of players... I mean, the mid-push was aggressive enough. He finds the kill onto the T-stairs guy. He didn't need to push. Now, it's Maka. He's going to push, but... Maka might be reflecting right now that he had his team in a 4-on-3. They had good information. They knew mid was empty. They knew a lot of canals was clear. They were well set up on B. He might be regretting that move. And now you half buy. If you're on the French team, don't force it. Half buy, ensure a full investment in the 24th. Overtime is starting to beckon in a map where Heroic looked dead 10 minutes ago.
I'll see back on that MAC-10. He really wants the MAC-10, man. He really wants the MAC-10.
I can get behind it on this round. You know also if they are going to armor up, it will be without head armor. So high movement speed, he can poke and prod. If he goes down, he's not handing over an AK or an AWP.
It is interesting here that Exorcist with that AK is not.
Oh, he just sold it and bought an AK.
Okay, never mind. He got chastised. Maybe he's just faking us out. Or maybe Saul's coming in and just saying, no.
He might have had the thought that because XC saved, he might have... They could have forced it. I mean, it would have been very aggressive, but...
Look at this. Look at this. This is the aggression. They go for the stack. Maka gets collected, but That's another gun that's picked up for this post plant, or maybe just for the save. Yeah, okay. If Lucky got anything, they were definitely going to commit. But without it, this is a save. Give yourself the best chance at this final round to close this out in regulation. It's going to be all in the next. Heroic. One more to send us to OT. 3D Max, what's the next trick out your sleeve? We've seen the aggression. We've seen the rotations. We've seen the stacks. What is the last trick you've got? This should mean...
I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the cave aggression they're running.
Okay.
I never really have been. I don't think I've ever seen it work that well, to be honest. Honestly, probably at this point, thousands of rounds of Anubis that I've watched. I'm not sure I've seen many where it's actually straight up won a round. I like the Maka being dynamic. That feels like the big selling point of this defense right now. Unleash him.
Well, they have got the op. That's what the saves allow. Exorcist is able to drop that over. So they've got full util. They've got all the nades they could possibly want. Body's even jungling extra here in mid. But they've got mortar strikes over on the heroic side. Graffiti down to half. Of an HE landing on his head.
Good nade.
Meaty.
Yeah, I think I have Molly tick there as well for Youngster.
We haven't seen a lot of these A takes. This is kind of the change-up pitch. Exorcist ready for it, though. Molotov behind Cake. Exorcist collects on the one. Looking for more. Util around. Blind as a bat, but still stalling them out. The second kill on. Body's in trouble. Youngster may not realize he's here. Flashbang. Try and clear it. Youngster collected. Now he can focus his attention towards camera. Player slipping out. Body ready to be the hero. The new man on the team. Cannot stop them. A bomb plant will be afforded. It'll be a retake. Graffiti and Maka. Graffiti trying to get back into position. He's got all the util. But he's not really in a position where he can put it to use. So got the kills here. And some Pious goes looking. And some Pious will not miss. Maka in a must-win 1v2 to deny overtime here.
He's very delayed. It could be unexpected. That's his only way into this round, is catching players off guard.
Tennier's watching. They're in safe spots now. There should be nothing done here. Catches the one. The nade will have it, but he's just got to stick. And he knows it. Oh, the nade doesn't even. Some Pious cleans him up. We're going to overtime.
Really felt like Heroic grew into that half. They were so timid at the start. Where was any... that A play we just seen had so many layers. It was a main take into the lurk smoke, into players going further out, taking mid at the same time. Very well orchestrated. Made 3D Max terribly uncomfortable. And they've done it. What was it? Was it 12-5? I think it was 12-5.
No. 12-6, I believe.
Still a tremendous achievement that this map is still going. Pressure on 3D Max now.
Yeah, 6 rounds in a row run to get to this point. But if 3D Max can still dig in their heels, I mean, this would be tremendous. They got an advantage in this one. Tenier collected, just trying to get cheeky through the B main smoke.
I'm a bit perplexed. Did Tenier think that players were looking elsewhere? Was there some sort of pressure from his teammates that he thought would divert attention? Because that was bold.
I think maybe he's hoping they're double clearing in towards cave. Maybe he's hoping. I'm not sure.
It must have been some cue, because that was
feels questionable.
Risky. This was a 5-on-4 for Heroic. Nothing like it now.
Yep. To put this to rest. And indeed, he seems to be doing so. The op holds court. King Maka has his hands on the scepter.
I'm not sure they've got time to mess around with wrapping onto a site through Temple.
20 seconds.
I think this round's already over. They need to sprint.
As soon as they do, I mean, if they try and go for a bomb plant, the 2CT should be well ready for them in rotation. Yup. One catch, all that's required, and this one is done. Some Pious, you could get clocked here. Did he get clocked? Does he have money? I think he has money. He's fine. Just before the time expired. That would have been about the only way that you can really get too shaky in the overtime economy.
He might have been clocked.
No. Yeah, he's
20...
just rebought the op 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, you're right. He would have been about 5,000. Okay, well, we often see it. First round of overtime slips the way of the team that just can't find anything to end regulation. I said it was still a tremendous recovery from 3D Max. Very composure towards the end of that round. But they'd like a little bit more. Flash play allows for B main aggression. There's 2 here for Heroic. Flashes all across the board for both teams, causing problems. But at least in this engagement, 3D Max comes out heavily on top. They do lose a player in mid, but it's still a man advantage. With that information, though, Heroic is saying B must have been loaded. There's got to be a gap elsewhere. We're going to walk out A. Youngster, though, hits the ground. Ecstasy just needs to stay alive and wait for teammates. Give them the bomb plant. It doesn't matter. Waits for the cavalry.
The problem is, LNZ is so disjointed from it.
No.
Oh, my goodness. He's done enough. He's done enough to give XFlood a chance, and XFlood's got a minute to cook.
That's unreal.
It still might not be enough. It might not even be close to enough. But it does give them a chance. And they have no clue where XFlood is.
3D Max just needs to... Yeah, they should just play together.
They pinch A main to make sure that he's not there, and that gives them something to turn their backs to. That's what it allows them. It means they don't have to be 180ing all the time. So now they've got this information. Now they can play together. Now they can play off of one another as well. I don't know that I love that. Exactly. But it comes down to the 1v1. XFloud sharp for the headshot. Gets down. Gets out of the altitude. Maka knows. Maka's trying to rescope this, and he's got it on the op. Seals the deal. Now, because we have a moment, I'll explain what my issue was with that setup. Because the Fountain player is playing first contact, Maka can't actually trade him because the player won't be wide enough into the angle. If the Fountain player stays tucked behind the pillar and waits for Maka's contact, then inevitably the player Heaven has to be exposed to fight Maka, and then they can swing off and punish it. Either way, it works out. So it's all good. No harm, no foul for 3D Max.
Mac is also the AWPer, so you'd want them to be first contact. Yeah. Play for information XCSAT at the most. Better just tuck. They get away with it. And this CD side already looks brilliant. Two CT rounds in half of overtime. You're already happy. This would just be the cherry on top. Then carry 3 onto the T side. The pressure on Heroic would be tremendous. Reminder, guys, is their map pick as Heroic. Next up is Dust2 for 3D Max. Winner of this series goes to Dallas. So 3D Max can just cobble together a couple more advantageous scenarios. They're well on their way.
That's a nice start. LNZ out of play. And considering the Herculean task it was to even get back to this overtime point, letting it slip has got to be massively disappointing if it comes to pass. XFlow trying to take the space in towards mid, but it's Maka holding a deep line. So if he tests this too far, punishment could be on deck. That's a smoke for Temple? Okay, so this is a fake, but players are ahead of it. It will make issues in rotation if they can deal with Maka. Oh boy, Maka's whiff. That's a hell of a time. That's a hell of a time. The statter catches him off. He expected him to swing a little deeper, and now the second player goes down. That's a bomb plant. And that rotation was limited. And here, this should seal it. This should seal it. 2v4. What a master stroke here. A missed op shot, and the house of cards comes tumbling down for 3D Max.
Much needed. 3 chances on the T side for 3D Max would have been too much to deal with. And, you know, quite a static hold from Heroic, but they were pretty, 3D Max, but they were happy to play with their man advantage. But I was looking at that mini-map thinking there is a big window here where they get overwhelmed. And that comes to pass. So, lifeline for Heroic. This first round of the second half of overtime will set the tone Rogue would love to even up the odds. Sunpius in mid. Molly makes it awkward, but still finds his man. Body hits the deck. That is a big moment for Sunpius.
They're retaking this space in towards mid as well. They're not just content with the numbers. They want to hold on to the ground. So Unzi's still posted on this door, and he's getting interested in exploring further. If he gains this information, it would be huge. It's Lucky on the other side now, ticking the Molotov. He'll hear that. Audio cue given over. Oh, and LNZ wants to punish that step, though. This is a game of cat and mouse, and ultimately LNZ is the feline foe. So now 3D Max, they've got no control. They've got this nucleus, this bunched up approach outside of A, but they don't really know anything beyond it. There were 2 players in towards mid, but that's highly mobile. They could be there. They could be not.
Smokes. Oh, they're just suffocating, aren't they? They do have a HG on Graffiti, but look at the positioning from the CT side. They're already playing anti-flash. In they go. And it's just a killing field. Rotator here too. This will be Heroic's round. Expo just now needs to seal the deal, and indeed he does. 3 for that young man. 14 apiece from a 12-6 lead. Heroic are just refusing to die.
Clearly, we can't count them out. Regardless of what occurs. Feels like every time they're about to slip, they do just enough to save themselves. Well, now they can go a step beyond. They can actually take the lead for the first time this map.
I've been very impressed by the AWPers so far here on Anubis. It's not the easiest map to play on the big green. But they're making well of it. They're being dynamic, they're being aggressive. A lot of opening kills for Maka and some bias combined, especially on the CT side. And no surprises. Outside of Lucky, they are topping that scoreboard.
Timely nade on the body. We'll get a little space taking, but he had to pay for it. It's LNZ on the other side of this. It's funny, not normally the player you would expect to be in towards mid for a team like this, but it is the position with the most information. Xfloud, a beautiful re-clear in towards A with this deep smoke up. Now they've got that periphery isolated. Now 3D Max are limited in their options. Oh, but this all posted up. If Sunpius gets too adventurous, how well does he know his spacing? So far, it's been perfect. If he goes just a little too wide, this could be all over. Oh, but the timing is perfect. It's just as Maka begins the reposition. Sunpius finds the punish. And now this is looking very good for Heroic to find map point. Body looking to ask some questions still. 25
this is
seconds.
On.
They have to
this
crunch on towards B. Body can't get anything more done. Molotov's out late, but Lucky's got a shot that should allow a bomb plant. Graffiti gets it down. They're going to have a retake. They're going to have a retake.
Where do they play into? They've just smoked in towards Temple. I don't think they should stay in the site. Make a choice and just commit, lads. This is such a hard hold if you don't claim a position that you can fall back into.
If no one's watching
man, they need to hit some gnarly headshots to win from these positions.
The clearing towards cave. This gives them something to play from. There's no one coming around. Graffiti slips, but he only gets the one. Lucky he doesn't have health. Time is the issue, though. Xfloud gonna swing, and Xfloud hits the headshot. It is map point on for Heroic. Recovery on Anubis. Now they can seal the deal with just one more.
Starting to see the chess game being played. Exorcist there. He knows exactly what was coming in A main. He knows the util set. He chose to play in front of the smoke and fight, and he lost. Despite knowing exactly the sequence. Millimeters as well. Maka against Sunpius. Pause comes in for 3D Max. Reminder, guys, you get an extra pause every bout of overtime. 3D Max burning theirs. Quick discussion. So important that you don't get despondent over the rounds that have gone by. It's an even game if you can just win this one. It's not a lost map. But where do you find an advantage? It's been 2 CT rounds on the trot for Heroic. And they are really struggling to get into these rounds, stay in 5-on-5s and get near a bomb site. Pius has been a pain in the ass. And they can't fall to him again. Double AWP T-side? What's Ecstasy's? He's just going to hold for aggression, I guess? Ideally hope he has an AK dropped in spawn.
He's an AWPer. I don't know exactly. It's going to be interesting for sure. Unorthodox, and well, now we're not going to have to worry about it because he's gone. He's dead. The AWPer on the other side has found him.
Did Pius burst the smoke there? Because he must have, right?
Yeah, I think there was a teammate to throw for him.
Yeah.
I think LNZ came in.
Yet again, another round. This one's a little bit different, but still Pius with the opener. Bit of team play involved, of course. And Pius commits to playing behind these bricks. We know this is, let's say, a committed position.
Oh boy.
A body unexpected. He was trying to throw Util onto cameras. This is so close now to done. 3 kills to go.
Montaneer, nice bit of movement to stay alive. Ooh, catches Graffiti in the Molotov. Graffiti does try and punch in an opportunity. Pius doesn't realize one slipped out towards the pizza. The bomb is down. Oh no. They have to go back for it. This smoke is not going to last. The smoke is even too deep. Xcloud will have vision beyond it. Mock is trying to go for the re-clear off this smoke, but one shot and he has to drop, and now he's traded. Where does Lucky go? 20 seconds. He's going to try and make the play towards A and clutch this up. They'll hear him running. They can catch him on the rotate. Xcloud getting into position, flashing, trying to slow him down. It's a counter nade in, and Lucky should just have time to punch in these numbers. But now he's going to be tremendous. He has been so good all map long. One more clutch is required of him. What do you got, Lucky? You got the fight. He's taking it, but Xcloud is too snappy in response. Heroic have done it. 12-6 down. They run 6 in a row to find overtime, and then they run a mini comeback in OT as well on the CT side of Anubis. They have done it. Heroic strike first.
Such a gutsy performance. I mean, Heroic for a lot of that map in regulation were getting outplayed. They were not making the best decisions. They're reading it for teams. It's all too easy to look at the best players and say, these are the guys that win the games. Well, if you can raise the floor of the whole squad and have no weak links and, be able to play a CT side where every position, pulls their weight and can be dynamic and aggressive, that can win you a lot of games just by having solid players across the board.
Here we go, diving into a Dust2. Heroic starting on the CT side, and this time around, 3D Max for the equipment block on map pick. They're questioning the B tunnels early on. Couple players in the longhouse. No long presence from Heroic to meet them. Totally conceded long. And 2 smokes for the CT side with a kit. This is interesting. Very much. So
how far does 3D Max push the envelope before they make a call? They might have been expecting to take a long fight, and then then the players mid can really move fast, knowing the numbers are long. But now they've got to rethink the plan. They spot LNZ here on site, bit of a goosh to boot. Tania, wow, gets aggressive, gets information, finds a frag, calls Xcloud over. That is a potential round-winning move.
Oh, and now the push back out catwalk's perfectly timed based on that mid-aggression. Push and pull is beautiful here. Exorcist was supposed to be able to play off the bulk of his teammates coming through. Oh, it's not done. It's not done.
HB.
Oh my goodness. LNZ is body shotable. We sending some prayers through the smoke, but they nearly do connect. You've got time, 40 seconds.
Tania's big flanking?
That's crazy. This is crazy. I like it though, because LNZ can then pull back.
Yeah, I'm not sure LNZ realised at first. I think a teammate shouted at him and said, Tania's not nearby. Give the ground.
He's going to get the bomb back, but is there any world where he expects... He does? No, he's still going to get caught. He's still going to get caught. Here's the peek around, but the dualies at that range are no longer reliable. Slipping the corner. LNZ is low. There's the shot. Oh, 12 seconds. 10 seconds. Does he have time? He does. He should. He should. Movement needs to be good. He's around the corner. Numbers punched in. 2 seconds to spare. And now a retake clutch. Kate gives Tanier more time, but flying into the fray! Exorcise! 4! 1v4! All 4 kills found. Oh my goodness. He's broken us. We're back to fly-throughs, Alan.
I'm not surprised. Servers melting down. The code can't compute it. Oh my lord. Just start to finish that. It shouldn't have been possible. The first... It's all too easy to look at what just happened and say, oh, Heroic just overfought and why weren't they playing together? He peeked into 2 players pretty much at the start, killed both. The player mid-doors for Heroic was doing his damnedest not to take a fight. He was allowing Tanier at range from Car to do the job. That is unbelievable. Well, if you needed something to get the wind back in your sails, I think you've just had a hurricane.
Yeah.
Is that ADR stuff correct? Because Maka did 177 damage without a kill.
Feels bad.
2 gooshes? That's mad.
You know, he was just teeing up Exorcise, actually. Good team player. X-Cloud, aggressive, gets 2. Oh my goodness, that should never have been allowed. This is now huge problems on for 3D Max. Tanier maybe didn't need to go for that next push, but he will. Wouldn't be Tanier if he didn't. And now a follow-up from Sunpius. They're collecting in mid. Mid is close for business. That bomb was, as well, I believe, spotted. So this next kill and lower, this could be the round. The next Floud comes out on top. You called him out. You wanted a little more. You're getting it.
And then some.
Now it all falls to Maka.
5 HP there as he gets that kill.
Now, I promise, folks, whatever the HUD may say, Maka did not manage to clone himself. And he won't be able to survive with his one body. Nice scouting. That was
a nice move from Heroic.
Yeah, I mean, that was also shockingly one-sided for a second round
Such a pleasant switch up from the CG side we had to watch earlier from Bet Boom, which was so static. That's how it's done. Play numbers in together. Bring the scout over. Second round, there's no AWP on the T side. It's almost advantage Sunpius taking those fights. Of course, the early engagements, though, from X-Cloud. How does he not get traded? Clinical shooting. And, Exorcise pulled off something incredible, unbelievable, to get them one round to the good with the pistol, but it's sort of already all for nothing. They've got full reset, they've got no plant, they're double eco, they're going to have to force by here. This is a really tough position for 3D Max. Okay, body's back. I don't think we need a match medic. We shouldn't have because he died in the previous.
No, should be fine. Should be fine here. And away we go. All right. Can they get a scout round back the other way, Alan? That's the big question. Exorcise, already an incredible 4-piece. What can he do with the scout? With the scope?
I think it would take players over facing him. Should be a little bit on notice as a Heroic as well. Don't need to get overzealous. Sunpius, very experienced player. Knows that giving up a frag here is a lot more impactful than finding one. Graffiti, though, opens the round. B-bomb site.
Oh, dink.
Very hard to retake, and now it's 3v5.
The saving.
Instant save call. Game on, baby.
Who needs a scout shot when you've got Tech 9s? Look at the health on some of these engagements, but they got the kills that matter, and that is all that matters. Even if they had the trade up here, even if they had traded out those kills, it's a nightmare retake, especially with the scout. Oh boy, that is a disaster.
It was the right call to save immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
some
absolutely.
players can just drop an M4. It's a pretty good buy in the following. All is not lost just yet, but that is an absolute slobber knocker from 3D Max.
All right, so we've had some fireworks early on in this game. I can't imagine that's going to end here. So what's the crazy change of pitch that Heroic now throw in there? Tanier wants to get aggressive again.
Tanier really wants to push.
No, he's blocked the smoke, which is effective, because now there should be a gap over at the spot middle, which some Pius is now using. That's a nice detail. They're really wary because of the smoke block that the Tanier is pushed in towards lower, which actually him not being there has wasted some utility. So you do get some impact out of that, if negligible. Okay. And now Heroics seem to be in a bit of a 2-on-2 default, so yeah, not really the most dynamic of rounds.
It's very standard. Question for me in these sort of setups is, when 3D Max shows presence, when they take short and they pressure, either with the lurk smoke out on the ledge or maybe some mid to B smokes, how does this CT side react? It's not necessarily a map where you can just sit back and play standard. This isn't Nuke.
It's gotten very popular to just not face and throw those nades from the CT or from the cap boost boxes. That one, very ineffective.
Helps when you have full util, of course, which they didn't come into this round. B split, though, is on. Somebody needs to grab the bomb. It looks a little bit disjointed. 3D Max, these smokes will not last forever. They need to go. Tanier, ready and waiting. Look at the crossfire. That is brutal. X-Fraud, free for him. They never stood a chance. Did they even hit a bullet during their split?
No, it was a nade pop on the smoke. LNZ threw an HE to pop the smoke, and they were not at all prepared for it.
Wow.
That's, I mean, nice capitalized from X-Cloud. He's been really good early on here. And that is Heroic striking back, so the Force by Wars continue, I think.
I think it might be an eco, though.
Oh, they're actually
It's going to be so demoralizing for 3D Max. They're winning the hard rounds. They're winning the impossible ones.
It just feels like whichever team is more nervous about getting reset is getting reset.
I think it's over now, though. It's also got to be mentioned, the Heroic call just immediately save 2 rounds ago. It's low-key a really important decision. How many teams do we see stick around for a little bit too long? Even if you lose just one more gun, that makes your buy so much worse. Yeah, good call there. Playing the long game. And maybe it will be long. It gets contested. LNZ is a bit on an island here. Got to play it out on Catwalk. That's X-Cloud. The other A player, that's some Pius, is in towards mid. So it might just be pistols, but LNZ, should he get overwhelmed, will be handing an M4 to his opponents. Here they come. Lining up, swinging out together. Free for LNZ.
Worth.
You can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, the math checks out. Okay, they get an M4. Good luck. Unarmored M4, 40 seconds, stuck out towards long. Good luck. Spot over top. Some Pius is trying to go fishing. Baited the hook. Got the lure. And it's Tanier who gets a nibble.
They actually don't need to peek him. Maka. Ooh, he actually finds some Pius. Wow. That's a scout, Tanier. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, not too much of an issue. I mean, worst case scenario there for Maka was surviving with a deagle in pit.
Okay, yeah, orb drop for some Pius.
There we go. Big green.
He might not know it, but he needs head armor.
Sunny P. Let's see. Yeah,
Needs
Khalil's
head armor.
out. We have the LNZ also without the helmet. And there's a max 10
They're
and 2
assuming this
Khalils.
3D Max buy is a little bit better than it is. Really hope for their sake that that is not a factor in this round. Flashbang is perfect. That's an AK, so...
Not a factor.
Well... Yeah, I guess so, but still goes down. 4 on 4 now. LNZ about to be tested. Players coming through the smoke. Timing is very awkward. Does get around the corner. Can use the new box to get it back onto Catwalk if he so desires. So
Look at this. Look at this lurk. Look at what is it?
No
Lucky.
way.
Lucky's out on B. All the way out on B. He's got all this control. There's still an issue if they rotate through middle, which seems to be what they're doing. But Youngster's the problem. The double push-up Catwalk could be interesting, and yes, they go for the safe to rotate. It's just Maka, low HP, who could get caught here in towards mid, and will indeed. But when do they realize? When do they realize they've been rumbled? If they go up lower, oh, now they know. Now they know. Lucky is all the way out. They've been exposed. Molotov in, X-Flood's ahead of it, but he can't catch. Flashbang to make it uncomfortable. They know X-Flood wants to come this way. Bomb's gonna go down. That can't be denied. Nades for this retake, flashes as well. If they identify a spot, the HEs can mortar it out. But that requires a level of information that they don't have, that they're not privy to. So the nades are going to be sent out as a prayer towards car. There's no one lying in wait there. Flashbang over, but Body sets up the trade. And so it's a 2-for-1 special. X-Cloud next into the fray. And well, he will find one miraculous kill. It's Exorcist to put him down execution style.
That lurk was tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. I don't blame Heroic for rotating like that. When some Pious goes down, it's like, well, what is the risk we're going to take? What is the move we're going to make to retain map control, to not just sit back on the sites and let ourselves lose mid and get split on one of the sites? I think it's a perfectly fine move. It's just that Lucky was one step ahead in that game of chess. LNZ, again, forced off a long. Has to give that ground. They're not too despondent about this, because, of course, mid is under lock and key by some Pious for now. X-Cloud's claiming short as well. So this is okay. Hold on to mid. And let 3D Max make the next move.
What a move it is. Body the king piece here. Taking command of the board in this round. X-Flood could find timing on these players slipping in towards lower. The bomb's gotten past him, but they still won here. If they can't deal with Exorcist, they can't deal with the rest of this round. Oh, Body ain't missing. Haircuts dealt. This mid control is shut down for Heroic. They tried to clamp on 3D Max like the jaws of a trap, but those jaws shattered. 3D Max doesn't seem to know which way they want to go. But either way they turn, it's one player at this point. Some Pious, what you got for us? You got one, and one is not enough. A save for Youngster, a round for 3D Max, and it will be the Frenchies pulling into the lead.
Some Pious just cannot get himself into the right place at the right time at the moment. So much of that round, Heroic had numbers holding mid. They had some Pious on location. But they got duped. They leant back towards A, expecting a standard long cross into an A plant. But no, 3D Max cut the noise. They walked back mid, gained a lot of ground. And there are no saving guns. Script is pretty well flipped. 3D Max lost the Force by Wars, guys. They lost the economic brawl to start this half, yet now it's them in control. Heroic have got to take an eco. This is starting to look pretty rosy, if you're a Frenchman.
It is. Can't shake thoughts of Anubis, though. And how that one went. It was looking pretty rosy there, too. There's still time. And it is Dust2, of course. Full 5 push in towards tunnels. Don't mind it. It's USPs. You gotta get weird. There's the spot. There's the shot. Lucky. Trying to rack up some ecos. Oh, lucky. No point staying around. There's very little to be gained and an AK to be lost. Okay. Gun gained. That's the prize. We'll just try and save that into the next round, presumably. Molotov as well. That's not bad.
So quick update on the B stream. It is 10-7 for Gamer Legion.
Okay.
On their map pick, they are a map down right now. First map win the distance, 24 rounds. 13-11 for Metasport. So that one looks pretty primed for free.
It's exciting. I can't say I've seen a lot of, or any of this current iteration of Metasport yet. Hampus, Plopsky, Adam B, Isaac, and Lumi. Lumi, the new one. Lumi, I'm not very familiar with at all. Played with Little Mix, played with Lemon Dogs. Interesting. I did see Johnny Speeds just signed a 15-year-old, so maybe the next donk out of Sweden, Male 09.
Got to be good with a name like that, surely. Yeah, I mean it's been a bit bizarre, really. Sweden, they've really they're really in a lull of superstar up-and-coming players.
We should just start giving the most promising children of Sweden to get right, and just have him run like a gym for them for Counter-Strike.
Okay. See where
Just
you're
go
going.
like full Rocky boxing coach.
Center of Stockholm.
Yeah.
Bring the kids in from up north. And yeah, intensive training.
Actually, just lock them in Inferno Online for like 2 years, living off of scraps and land food.
They're only allowed to Inferno Online or Kappa Bar.
Yeah.
That's
They'll
it.
emerge just red hot on the op.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, for a scene as storied as them, it's quite. I mean, it's just the nature of randomness and chaos and all that sort of thing.
Well, we do have two of the most promising suites right now in the server, Youngster and LNZ.
Yeah.
They've had to go far afield, and right now it's Xfloud who's giving them an advantage in this round. 3D Max taking the cat control. They don't have a lot of information anywhere else on the map, so they're kind of committed to this idea, and there's a lot of bodies here to receive them. No tunnel info, no long presence. This is a little straightforward for 3D Max, and once this smoke fades, they are going to execute. But Heroic going for this long reclear. Do they realize in time? They do indeed. Some Pius is posted.
This is good, though. And a man advantage. Xcloud is committed sight as well.
They go for
the
the
cat drop could make things a little bit tricky. That spray is almost on top of Lucky. Xcloud does so much damage, but no conversions. Next up is LNZ. These guys are so low. One bullet will get it done. Planter has the HP, and he is out of the fight. Linus here finds himself a free piece. Youngster in, and there you go. The Swedes putting in a good shift.
Look, I mean, don't get me wrong. They were already so low, but that is still a nice bit of spray control for the A4. We have seen that catch some players off guard. Now everyone adjusting back to using the M4 A4, getting used to it again. Now the even price on those two rifles. Nice round for Heroic. Huge stability as well with players surviving, right? Some bank built up. They don't have to worry about immediately being shattered on the economy. So we got 3D Max. How do you make them uncomfortable again? Trying to go for the cheeky shots early on. The boost up here. Oh my goodness, but it's some Pius who collects. Aggression out catwalk, and body is out for the round.
Yeah, for those that missed Anubis, there was a lot of this from some Pius. Not scared to leave his mark on the server. Graffiti gets a good duel. Uses this smoke to obscure vision. and fighting towards CTs. Defense now a little bit uncomfortable. A-bomb site, lesser defended. LNZ's giving a lot of ground. He's focusing on long. X-Cloud just 26 HP. Can't really fight. It's a nice nade, but I think these CT players have got to wait for the cavalry. Yeah. Let the rotations come over, then think about a retake if they can make it. One's already gone.
Holding on the cat is so huge.
Oh, bad molly.
That's going to sting. That's going to sting. Need these kills. Need these kills immediately. Tanier gets one. X-Cloud needs the reload, but just down to Exorcise. We've seen him clutch up. Do it again, and Exorcise will deliver. Oh, hit that spray. Hit that spray. Stunt on him.
Monster afterplants from this young man.
He got the 4K in the pistol.
Yeah.
He's got the 1v4. He's got the 1v2 here. 6 of his 10 kills have come in
I know,
1vx
I was going to
clutches.
say. Would be nice for him to kind of even it out with kills across the round, but a man to himself. Tanier opens the scorecard. Graffiti's gone. And their AWPless are the CT side. Body ripper there. Wowzers. Even Stevens.
Even indeed. Look at the lack of util though for Heroic. If this turns into a post plant, good luck. No kit. Last smoke now expended.
No information for this defense. Youngster has to find frags. Gotta get his numbers.
It's if they clear this, he's done. They don't. Oh, but it's still just to the tune of 1. This should still be a very nightmarish retake. And we've got Exorcise working his way around from long.
He's so far away.
Yeah, this might be a little too much. He might be overcooking. He's burning the roast. But they're stalling. They're waiting for LNZ to get in position. And now here comes the tap from LNZ. What? I would love to know what that looked like from LNZ's perspective. But we'll have to content ourselves without that knowledge for now. Body and Maka. Maka has not had the same map, but this time he will connect 1. Sets up the second as well. Comes in for 1v1. Tanier on the other side. Body maneuvering. Just trying to die. Trying to stall. And eventually finding the headshot he so requires. 7 rounds for 3D Max. A lead established at a minimum for this half of Counter-Strike.
Quad kill for Body. Massive round from a player that was clearly brought into this team to be a difference maker on and off the server. Heroic are coming close on a lot of occasions here. It has not been an easy half at all for 3D Max. Look at the money. They've been so close to getting snapped. But they've got 7 rounds. Got a great chance to make this 8. The buy is far from ideal. Tunnels crunch is the call from Heroic. And for the moment, it is not going their direction. This is going to be 8 for 3D Max after losing economic control to start the half. They're not giving up on Dallas.
No.
No, sir.
Not at all. Nice little tap to end, and we will be back after this quick break. It's a substantial lead for 3D Max, but we've said that before in this series, and as we've seen, Heroic don't know when to quit. Game is still very much on, but it's Heroic on the tee now, Alan. What are we looking at?
A team that needs a pistol round. Badly. And the first thing they need to do is overcome this mid-aggression. Lots of players facing for Heroic. They were very well positioned, weren't they?
Yeah.
Didn't matter who took first contact for Heroic. There's always going to be so many buddies on location. That is a really nice display of how to distribute your forces to give yourselves the best possible chance.
Call that knowing what's coming your way.
This lurk is beautiful as well. Let X-Cloud play before you run up long. They are coming into numbers, though. But with the flank, they should be okay. Just, I was going to say, give it up, guys, and go back. But they find the frags regardless.
Better just shoot everybody in the head. Who needs to give anything up?
Yeah. I mean, I coached Boros. That was about the philosophy.
Oh, no. Why have we done him like that? When are you doing your Boros tell-all
Even
podcast?
he would agree with that statement. Has he been knifed or scouted? What's going on there?
Scouted.
Scouted.
Scouted down now. Maka said, I'm actually going to finish that kill. Most scouters content to just leave that.
Oh my god.
What? All right, we're back to the Force by Madness. This is how the first half started. Maka says, I am not waiting for you to come to me. The Maka scout comes to you. Delivery. Scout bullets. Oh my goodness.
They're still going towards the scouts as well.
I know. I'm unreasonably excited for this next shot. Can he hit a third in a row? Actually, it would be a fourth in a row, right? No. Okay. There's still so many people here, right? The rotation will even be pretty quick from Graffiti. This is a bit cheeky, but... All right, here's the other scout in play. Just keeps serving up headshots, and Body, meanwhile, is still just in this smoke. And he's going to capitalize. One man remaining to near. This is an abject disaster of a round. Can you get anything out of it? No, is the resounding answer coming through. Scouts lead the way, and it's utter domination for 3D Max.
I'm not sure Maka missed a shot. 5 hits, 3 frags, money in the bin for Heroic. That was meant to be their window back into this map. I mean, win that anti-eco there, then it's a full eco for 3D Max. It's pretty much an even game, if not even. Nope. It's not how the cookie crumbles in this one. Now, there were traded 4 spies in the first half, but this is really not a good investment from Heroic. It's so tricky to cover the ground on a map like Dust2. And we saw, what did we see? It was 3D Max doing a fast B play that got their Tech 9s into play. It's going to be much harder for Heroic, I think, from here. Numbers catwalk, they got a smoke, they can put this even on the ledge or out towards a Vanguard. So they need to overwhelm these site players very quickly to make this work.
Here it goes. Palm tree flash, out and up. But X-Felt's already dropped down. Body collects on the 1. The long player's not looking for this. They're not looking for this. Snaps around and actually does save his teammate's life. Realizing in time what was going down. And now the firing squad is here. The reinforcements are on deck, and there is no chance at a bomb plant. Team Ace and 4 players surviving as well for 3D Max. They can get off those scouts. They can get onto the rifles. This is looking bang on for a 3D Max map.
Not the first time we said that in this series.
True. True.
This one, though, feels a bit different. I mean, the money is just a disaster for Heroic. Some bias with this scout bias saying that I'm happy to play the next gun round on a scout. That's the idea here. Okay. Well. I mean, any economy, any economic damage for this point for Heroic is good. But it's not going to be easy. Far from it. Rifles across the board. Well warmed up of these 3D Max players, and Maka is hungry.
Oh boy. Alright, Graffiti. Ooh, little overheat there on the end, but not exactly going to be punitive for 3D Max as they look to bring this one to a swift conclusion. Money to spare. Nothing really in the pocketbooks for Heroic. A timeout will be used here as Saw will get in his player's ears. What do you think he's saying here? Do your best Finnish accent.
Not even sure I could if I wanted to be honest. How do they? They kind of slur quite a lot, don't they?
No, it's kind of like, okay, we are going to... Oh, God, can I do a Saw? I can hear what he sounds like in my head. I don't know if I can replicate it. Or am I just going to wind up doing a Jimmy impression?
Anytime I think of somebody speaking Finnish, I just hear Alu in my head. Which maybe isn't totally representative.
I feel like Finns speak like... You know, I'm going to leave this one alone before I get myself in trouble. I'll work on it. I'll come up with a Saw impression. You have my promise, Twitch chat. I'll keep working on it. Get my
I'm not sure
E2
I've heard him talk enough, to be honest. To
You haven't? Really?
Not to replicate his voice.
I am a consumer of every piece of video interview content that involves Saw.
Okay.
He's always got interesting things to say.
Hopefully in a nice, friendly manner rather than...
Very matter-of-fact manner, I would say.
Ah, okay, alright. Super fan. Hopefully you have posters of Saw all over your house.
Dude, alright, Heroic, here's the merch idea. Glory posters, and they're just... It's Saw. It's Saw. Like, the full spread of coaching moments. Can we do that? Hype poster of Saw.
I'd get one.
Just action shots of particularly good timeouts he's called. Oh boy. Timeout your way out of that one. Lucky with the double spray down. He will actually be pinched upon. So bomb plant here, but a man advantage in the post. Bomb does cross the doors, so the numbers can be punched in. They've got a smoke, a flash, and a Molotov to put this together. Meanwhile, one flash to try and hold them at bay, and it looks like it's going to be tossed over. Can't stay back! You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here on site. Bomb is defused. Map point found for 3D Max.
Third looks inevitable now, doesn't it? What a fabulous map from 3D Max. Such poise. And I wonder if some of those situations on Anubis getting away from them is more telling of them just not being quite as comfortable. This map, they look, in any scenario, we're going to give ground here, we're going to take space here, we're going to retake this site. You know, we're going to play Maka in this position and lean elsewhere. They've never looked out of sorts. It's been beautiful. And now with 7 chances to get us onto a third. Body opens up. It's happening. 13-5 surely is going to be the scoreline.
Seems to be that way. There's precious little to work with here. You've emptied the toolkit. You keep getting stumped. You keep getting stymied. They seem to be ready for all your best ideas. Might just be time to think thoughts of Ancient. Full group up in the tunnels. It's going to be a B hit. Live or die. By a lucky whiffing a spray. Oh, now information gained. He's going to throw out some counter utils, some flashes, just to try and make this uncomfortable. His job is to stall, set up his teammates for the spray. Lucky does get one. Maka on the cross, another. Graffiti poking through, looking to deny, and he'll do exactly that. One man remains, and Graffiti will not miss. Strong map of Dust 2 for 3D Max. They do what they could not on Anubis and close clean. Now we get a third. We're set up for a date on Ancient, Alan.
It was just a gorgeous map from 3D Max. Frankly, in this series, they've played about... I don't know who would call of that lot.
We'd have to figure that one out.
Flames would be hilarious.
If he was calling? Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's just settling down as a player, man. I don't think we need to add calling in there.
It would be something. What is going? Oh my lord! The Game of Legion Metasport game is still going on map 2.
Oh boy.
16-15.
Oh boy. But keep your eyes locked here because we're loaded into Ancient. And it is time to get this thing done one way or another. Time to send one of these teams to Dallas. The other team won't be eliminated. They'll get a chance. But the lower bracket is a little bit more of a grueling affair. So better to get this work done today.
Absolute pain going down there. Yeah,
no,
for both of these teams.
I don't think Payne's in the EU qualifier.
Only complexity makes that jump. And they didn't make it. They went out in the opens.
They did. Unfortunately.
So, if we're bashing on Liquid, we might as well throw Cold in there as well.
Hey, you know what? They look fun on Train.
I haven't covered a Train game yet.
Well,
so all of these vetoes, I am just despondent.
You're missing out. Nyx looks good. Train looks fun. We'll see how they do at Cluj. Because if they don't do well at Cluj, well, they just might not get a whole lot of more opportunities.
Sad times, the NA teams.
VRS is brutal out there.
It's really harsh. Because for a long time, Valve ranking is actually somewhat been pretty favorable to North American, South American, and Australian teams. It's given them pretty good rankings. But the Valve one is going to be brutal if you drop out and you're in a lesser region. I mean, there's not a lot of places for you to get points.
Yeah, literally just finding games that count towards the rankings right now is the hardest part of things. And especially in lesser regions, when your best teams in that region are competing in Europe, you wind up in this situation where it is almost impossible to actually get domestic events ranked. It's very challenging. It's why having events like Philadelphia's and Launder's Lands actually count towards the VRS is hugely important to actually making the NA ecosystem functional.
Pretty much, you've got this stack wrong.
Wrong site.
Just a little bit wrong, guys.
Wrong site. It's okay, though. Do-over. They've got retake util. They have a kit. They actually only have 2 sets of armor on those dualies. So this is kind of interesting.
I'm watching this molly from LNZ.
2 flashes. First smoke goes out. It's an A-main smoke and a donut smoke, presumably. But you're right, that molly's a problem. So maybe they saved the smoke for the molly. Okay, 1-for-1 exchange. Here we go. Clear out the A-main player. Actually, here comes the molly. A little early. That smoke does not extinguish on the bomb. But you will be able to get the stick pretty quick. And they've done it. Bomb's not planted for Tanier. He just has to spam. And the bomb has been defused right in his face. Knife! No! Oh my goodness. Dooley's in to save the inglory of the knife. Deny it 1500 over to your teammate. But confirm the pistol round. Not getting the knife was too much to bear there. We've had a DC. Oh, back to podcast mode, Alan. What do you want to talk about this time?
Don't know. Hitting a lot of stuff so far. Just waiting on Graffiti to come back.
Come back, Graffiti. Come back.
Yeah, have a read, guys, of the open letter.
Here's a good detail.
Get a chance.
IEM Katowice broke the peak major viewership record. 1,299,747 peak viewership.
I believe it's either been Cat or Cologne that's always held that. I guess it was Cologne 2023 that held the previous record. Or it might yeah, it was probably that. It might have been Katowice 2023. But
it was the one with the crazy phase G2 final, I think.
Yeah.
With all the OTs.
Yeah, I mean, you'll agree with me that the Cologne Navi phase final was...
Oh, it was a banger.
That might be the best game ever played. That was bonkers.
There've been some good games of Counter-Strike out there. We are constantly blessed with how good this game is. Constantly blessed, I say. And now we are blessed by having Graffiti back in the server, so we are going to get things underway. Now, Dust2 was forced by City.
I'm not sure I can take it again.
Heroic are going to try their luck. Risking the Molotov, flashbang through, but it was a little bit early. xCloud caught his own teammate's flash, so by the time his vision clears, so does everybody else's. Mid control denied, at least for the moment, and there are 3 players here if this A main take is actually going to come to fruition. Oh boy, the push in. Body now knows everything. He's calling his teammates over, and he's getting all work done with the USP. Oh, that mid lurk's way too late. The bomb's down. Everything is gone to poo. Youngster, what can you do? A MAC-10, a hope, a dream. Maybe a reroute to find some damage.
I mean, he had a slight window, didn't he, when players were focused on A main, but that is long gone now. Scoops an AK. Saving's not really an option. I mean, he could, but why throw the money out of balance? Try and take away another gun. Spots Maka, but Maka playing smart. Just wait for your teammates. There's nothing Youngster can do, so it will be 2 rounds of 3D Max. Eventually, Youngster making us wait, does find another for his trouble, so that is somewhat of a result. But, all in all, round 1 for 3D Max. Now they've earned themselves the easy one. Heavy eco to follow.
Should be. Should be, unless... No, it will be. We're not getting weird this early. So what do you throw out of your if you are heroic? Milling about in spawn, which is somewhat surprising considering there's not exactly a lot of money to be spreading around. They wind up with basically a deco, actually. So it's a bit more skin in the game than expected, but let's see if they can pay it off. 2 D kills, and this is worth it as an investment. Bomb planted, it's definitely worth it.
They're going to burn quite a few nades off 3D Max with this passive stance. Doesn't necessarily inspire entertainment. Sort of posturing. And something that is interesting about the VRS system is...
Okay.
Obviously, coming into the end of 24 and into 25, the teams that were partner teams did have a big advantage. I mean, they just played more events. But as soon as we go over that crest into the new year, that advantage goes. And I'm very intrigued to see which of the non-partner teams have a slow creep up the rankings to where they always should have been. Does that make sense? They always were better, but they never played enough events.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Eternal Fires of the world always were the 6th or the 7th best team last year, but they didn't play enough events to prove that on every occasion.
I think Eternal Fire and Mongols are definitely the first early winners of it, where it's just...
Yes.
I mean, Mongols had a little bit of an advantage in that they just had a lot more regional invites, but now they don't even need to worry about that. They are just conclusively in the top 10 without argument. Oh my goodness, xCloud! A second as well! Channeling his inner Eternal Fire here. Maka will bring it back, and xCloud is tagged up, but that's a beautiful peek from Youngster to catch. Now it's a massive advantage. Space taken on towards A. It's all unlucky. Deliver the first. A little bit of an oversight there from LNZ, not realizing a player was already in position. And he can maybe stall this out. That is the bomb committed as well on Tanier. So this late rotate from Youngsters better get a move on. 2 players have been spotted. Rotation is on. Graffiti coming in to support. Youngster working his way up the donut, but Graffiti, is he prepared? Whew, that drops the bomb. Now they got something to play off of. Did he spot the donut player? Did he indeed? Graffiti making this happen. There's no health. And Graffiti, a 3-piece off of the MP9. Beauty.
That's supposed to be Exorcis's job, that sort of clutch. Guess he had a fine teacher off the back of Dust2. That is a massive round. That is one that should have been heroics every day of the week. Not to be. Not to be. And the thing is about this Force Buy, I'm not a fan of this Force Buy from Heroic. I reckon Heroic's philosophy here is they think 3D Max have no money. They think they can get full reset. There is a bit of cash in reserve, so I'm not sure the logic checks out. Maka is playing a wild game right now.
What?
Misses his man. LNZ in the air. Takes out Graffiti. Lucky's got to do some work. Shotgun AWPing comes good. Pistol out for Maka, but gets overwhelmed. And now it's all on body. Does he come through the smoke as he gets planted? When does he make his move?
This one's been so wild. I mean, if he just exists and continues to do so, he sets up exorcies to get something cooking. Does he realize they're all in cave? Ooh, the triple swing there. Double swing. Player stuck in the corner now. Okay, hold on. They're all in here. Buddy doesn't trust it, though. He doesn't realize. And that will cost him. The lack of faith. That was such a chaotic round. I feel like Heroic were toying with being punished at every turn and somehow just managed to slip every gap. Like, how was that op shot on the player just knife out sprinting past door? Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, 3D Max get aggressive into a team that's about to hit that site, but isn't actually super exposed. So it meant whatever it was, 7-8 players in 50 square meters of ground. Graffiti forced forward. Frankly, does well to get one, and given the buy, it's not too bad. He only had an MP9 in the first place. Anything that whittles down the numbers somewhat equalizes any sort of disadvantage. What is the next move? To A main from 3D Max. Then get some good information and get numbers back towards B potentially. Or go for a long flank. I like this. It's very proactive. This could throw a big spanner in the works for Heroic.
Oh, okay. Body evens up the numbers. It is just Maka here, though, and he's so committed. No one here to support. Committed on the smoke fade. Could walk
Oh
through.
my lord.
They've got nades out. They've got nades out. This is going to get so weird. This is going to get so weird. No, snaps up for the Alper first, and some pies hits the no-scope. Still could get crunched. If Lucky can stall this out at all, it would set up Body, but instead Body's going to route through the cave. He almost got him on the spam. I don't know. The jump spot was ambitious.
The jump did nothing.
That was optimistic, to say the least, but it does set up Tanier for the kill. Smoke on towards ramp. Sampais is tucked in the corner. Sampais is spotted. Nice clear out. Oh my goodness. Haircuts. Did he see him? He saw him. He seen him. No. Youngster running this down. Body no health. It's got to be the headshot. It's got to be the headshot. And he's not got it. Youngster will triumph over the veteran on the 3D Max side. These rounds are coming down to the thinnest of margins, though, Alan.
Absolutely. I don't even know what to make of what I just watched. It's very similar, actually, to the round before, where Heroic are really on a precipice in a lot of these rounds. They're losing a lot of ground. They're getting flanked. 3D Max are always in seemingly pretty good positions. So, Heroic have certainly been made to work for the 2 rounds they have so far. That said, 3 looks very likely. Heavy eco for this CT side. Youngster about to be absolutely enveloped. That flash was being held for the swing out of Cheetah, not into Cheetah.
But the kid ace. Oh. Here's my question for you. How long can Youngster keep the Youngster name? He's 20. If he gets stickers, that locks them in forever. So if you're Youngster, I guess at this point you can't go for a nick change. I mean, you could go for a nick change before you get your first stickers. But do you go for a nick change, or do you think, hey, if I have a 10-year career, it'll be ironic?
Or would he
by the end
change
of
it to, like, Oldster?
Just literally anything else. Anything that's not age-related. Because if Youngster turns into the next Kerrigan, you know, has that kind of longevity on a career, that is just going to be a hilarious name.
True. Names are one of those things, though, where if you just get good enough, it starts sounding cool.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Faker.
That is a good name.
Oh.
I rate it.
So does everyone else. But would it be as good of a name if you didn't think of what Faker had done when you heard it?
Well, no.
Bomb's right outside
example.
these doors. They don't know they have bomb, but they have bomb. Is this another round where things are just going to get really weird, Alan? I think things are getting weird. We've got a player push
When was the last time
spawn.
you saw a round that wasn't weird?
Yeah, that's about
They've
true.
all
X
been
Cloud's
weird.
in spawn. Bombs outside B doors.
Time is still a problem, though, because...
They're going to route it to A, though.
Yeah, however they choose to end this, the bomb has
Do they
not got a
smoke for
free
Donut?
path. Whatever happens, Macca's going to get a fight before this bomb goes down.
It's more that he's going to get the footsteps in A main, I think. That's going to tip them off on the rotate, but then the question is, does X-Flood catch them on that rotate? Yeah, no, Maka knows. So why are they coming back here full loud?
Macca can still win this.
Oh, misread. But yes, Maka can shut this down. Wow, that's a great flashbang and a blinder of a shot. They knew Donut was the one position that mattered. Exorcise has it. It's a combination of things. It's them not putting together the details. They were thinking they were just blind rotating without the information. Body was not thinking about the fact that X-Flood had lurked all the way through.
And I don't blame him. You're a player in Donut, so it's quite an unlikely avenue. Crack starting to show from 3D Max.
They better pull their pants up.
Yeah. You don't want that shown in public.
No. No plumbers here.
No. Does that
Shots
happen? Do you have that in the
retired.
States as well?
What, the plumber's crack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a classic. Squatting down to work on some pipes and just cheeks out. Looking like a card game tournament out there. Have you seen the classic album of the guy just going around a Magic tournament doing the like hands up prayer pose next to a bunch of exposed butt cracks?
I have not. I feel like I've missed out on an incredible piece of cultural content.
I found the album immediately.
I was going to say, something tells me I'm about to receive a link. I will watch it and convey for the viewers at home.
I gotta say, this is one of my riskier Googles of all time. Oh! All right, Maka, I got excited. I Googled magic butt crack photos, and it turned up exactly what I was hoping for. But that was a risky Google. Body gets 3 here. Are you ready for this? Oh my god, are you ready for this? 1, 2. Oh! Oh my god! I almost bought lottery tickets off of that prediction. My goodness. Exorcise. I mean, it's still set up for his teammate to potentially win this round. Body has done the work. They've completely overlooked him.
What?
Woo! The jumping snap! Some Pice doesn't have any health. He doesn't have any health. He can't do anything about this. Body has just won them the round with a cheeky 5-7 stack behind the big box on A site.
I mean, talking of cracks, a massive one just appeared in Heroic. That one's out for all to see. Just as we start asking questions of 3D Max, they win an absolute blinder. The new kid on the block. Loathe to call him that because he's an alumni practically, isn't he, Body? Coming back into this system. What a round. What an opportunity to build off of. What a map it's been so far for Body. 143 ADR as we crest into round 10. Quick techie. Hopefully nothing too fearsome. What's going on in the other game? Are they onto a third? No, they're not. Oh, wait.
Still on the second? No, 22.
Wait.
That's closed.
Okay,
That's
yeah, sorry. HLTV had it 18-18.
Gamer Legion taking it the distance. Playing everyone close today, it seems.
How Gamer Legion makes it work with such a massive turnover of players is really incredible.
Look, Ash deserves every penny on his contract and then someone else's contract in addition.
BCSA board member. Right there.
Saving Counter-Strike, the BCSA.
Yep.
Can't save UKCS, but
the thing about
go...
UK is we can't do it together, but alone.
Yeah.
Alone we stand a chance in the wilderness. So put us together and... yeah, we all just become smoother.
I love that even at this major, Smooya hasn't been on a relevant team for years. There was still Smooya chance in the arena. That man's impact is eternal. Body. Oh, is there a flashbang for this? They're just going through. They're just going through. Lucky's got the first. This is so nervy, but it's worked. It's worked. Not a flashbang for it. Just a crunch on in, and they were not prepared. The ambush is successful. Heroic have been totally waylaid, and Tanir is left to just try and somehow assemble the pieces of an impossible puzzle.
Domination. That was the most convincing round for a long time from 3D Max. Absolutely worked as intended. Had the numbers, made the crossfires go. Played off the back of each other perfectly. And they have done bad things to the heroic economy. It's going to be a half buy at best. Hero AK out for Xfloud, who, whilst having a few star moments in this series, is still yet to produce quite the level of Counter-Strike we know he's capable of. And this round would be a great place to start. Body, though, says no. What a map for this young man. He's done so much already in this round to make it difficult. Heroic pistols remain now. Tanir finds that AK, though.
Hold on.
Exceed's 15 HP, gets enveloped.
I like the
Could
decision
still
to
be
find
something
the
here.
to recognize the situation, to give yourselves the chance at this round. Now, the problem is getting back out on towards the site or deciding what you want to do on the reroute. Tanir through middle, I mean, this could get interesting, but he opts to abandon that, and they're going to fight back out Donut, which at this point, enough time has gone that 3D Max started to discount it. You have Lucky going walkabout through A main to try and flank this up. And so they've actually just given them the A site back. Bomb will go down.
Lucky's really going to flank all the way to Donut.
If he goes back A main, it would have been huge, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, it somewhat gives up his own advantage, doesn't it? Unless he feels like he was expected him to be there.
It's kind of wild that Heroic are this confident about A main being clear, considering the fact that we know a player ran through it, but they're right. And now Graffiti is expecting the double donut play for this post plant. Gets caught completely off guard. And now look at this. They're stunned. They don't have the time for this. They need to get on that bomb sooner rather than later. And Tanir's gone for the wrap. It's over. It's over. Maka just has to stick and pray. Stick and pray. And he even hesitates for a moment. Might get this defuse off. No way. No way! He steals it away! Heroic thought they had put this back together, but no, 3D Max rip it from their grasp. Maka with the snatch.
I'm not sure 3D Max deserved to win that. They completely lost tracking. They lost the footprints. They had no idea where Heroic was headed. We're not fans of how they played the Afterplant. We're not fans of the positioning, but Maka finds the rabbit in the hat. 3D Max by hook or by crook have made it up to 7 rounds. Chance here for 8. Aggression poured of call as Body continues his reign of terror. Maka chimes in next. 8 looks like destiny now.
It does. It does. It's insane how some of these rounds have been converted, but at the end of the day, you only care about the number up top, and right now it reads 8 for 3D Max on top, looking to secure their spot at IEM Dallas when we come back. If there's been one trend that we've had so far, Alan, it's that in all three maps, at some point, 3D Max have had what looks like a commanding lead. Can they go 2 out of 3 on converting those, Alan?
You'd hope so.
You would hope so.
I mean, they, in hindsight, had, 6 chances to win this series. They could have just closed out Anubis, but they did it the hard way. They wouldn't want it any other way. Body opens up, picking up where he left off on half number 1. Still, though, 2 more to get past. This site is still defended. LNZ is playing a dangerous game around this smoke. How is this man still alive? They have no idea he's here.
He was kissing Tanir in the smoke. What is happening right now? Okay, bomb down. These rounds have been madness. There is a player low in Graffiti. This retake is viable, though less so now. Youngster gone. Or young star, I guess, as it may be. These kids in their X's in place of vowels.
That would be better. Okay.
They're backing off. They're saving. Xcloud says, I would like my armor. LNZ says, bro, I literally have nothing to save. So he's just going to go for exits. Graffiti, likewise with nothing to save, will confer over to him the kill reward of $300. But the bomb will do its work nonetheless.
It's looking good now. I mean, we've had a lot of fun in this map, but let's not forget the stakes. 3D Max are 4 rounds from Dallas. 3D Max, a team, they weren't a partner team last year. They maintained a good ranking coming off the end of the year. They're ranked, top 15 right now, VRS in the world. They're going to get a lot more invites where this one came from. There'll be an event. There'll be closed qualifiers. They can make it to Dallas. It's just going to set them up for a fabulous season. And
it really is.
Yeah, they're playing great CS.
They're number 14 right now. They've got Cluj starting this week. They've got Pro League on deck as well. If they get Dallas after that, starting to look like one of the teams that's really going to benefit from the early rise of the VRS hierarchy. Both players get out. That's a lot of damage done here in A main. But Xflow is unable to capitalize, and they are still a man down. And look at this space. Body capitalizes straight through middle. That's a beautiful kill on LNZ. Now all the rotations are controlled. Body can pinch in towards this B site. Tanir knows that life is just difficult now. What are you going to do here? Body's still battling into CT. Tanir has to get this kill or there's no chance. But that pulls him off the site proper. They fill the gap that he's lost. The bomb's going to go down, and there is nothing that he can do about this. He's going to commit back in, which I appreciate. The odds of saving are pretty low. But this now has to be a save for Xflow. There's no other thought that can be had about it.
Force buying as well from Heroic is somewhat indicating that they understand their position. They need to get rounds on the board early. That's not going to happen. It's surely going to have to be an eco in the following. So 3D Max are well primed to hit 11 in the next few minutes. There's something fun as well about these fully national lineups still doing work in a world where everybody feels compelled to go international and just get the best players they can.
Well, we did just have two, three if you're counting Excites as well. Frenchies raised the Katowice trophy. Seeming like a good year for French Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Certainly is. Listen, I'm sure a Vitality in all, in an organization in Vitality, if there was a French player who was obviously a good pickup, they would find their way onto Vitality in the end.
Eventually. I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of changes there for a while.
You know what I mean? I mean, if there's a hot prospect French player that really deserves that crack, it's just so good for the organization.
I mean, speaking of, as well, isolated UK players doing something. We have Ash. Well, we have Mezzy lifting.
Yeah, I'll take credit for that as well.
That one's yours?
Why not? Yeah, I only coached him for 2 months, but...
He's yours. All you.
In
actually.
spirit. And being in spirit. Oh, boy.
A father now. They ask you if any coach advice on that one. Body. Earning himself some sons in the server today.
He has not. To learn that all himself.
There's this big gap towards A. If Exorcist just walks out here, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, Heroic? You got numbers stacking up here in the donut, looking for a double wrap on A main as well, but you got precious little to fight them with. So what are you going to do about it? Can't go for a smoke pop. It's a spam and a prayer. And that prayer, at least for the moment, is going unanswered. Going through the smoke. Just going to wait for the fade, try and spam ahead of it. Sharp does trade that out. But unsuccessful, as it seemed. No chance to get on through. 11 rounds on the board for 3D Max. This one is looking just about done. One final gasp here from Heroic. Their last chance to do anything about this, Alan. It's got to be now.
I'm not feeling it. I'm just watching 3D Max, and Body's the best player on the server right now. 3D Max are playing decisive, aggressive, proactive Counter-Strike. And I'm watching Heroic and thinking, where's the Sun Pius that was opening up rounds on the defense on Anubis? I mean, money's obviously a factor. You can't even get an AWP out on this one. Tania, vicious fragging power early on in this series. He's been good here, but not enough. And xFloud continues to be, not quite the player we know he's capable of being. And unfortunately, with the form 3D Max is in, I mean, somewhat rightly ranked in the top 15. They are of that caliber right now. Heroic needs to get a lot right to win this series, and at the moment, it's not quite coming together.
Couple kills coming through. A third as well. All right, Heroic. Dynamic aggression here out of the cave has netted results. They finally get guns. They finally get utility. And we can see the way Ancient is meant to be played. A little bit of strong moves. But a dynamic forays. A little bit of LNZ 2Ks. Question now becomes, what kind of damage can 3D Max do back the other way, right? Because this round, we're not really looking at as a potential win. If you can scrape a couple guns away from them, you make them very uncomfortable going forward.
Be tough, though. LNZ is low. But he was playing his part there. Grabs the information. St. Pius leans over to join his teammates. That molly will only further reassure them that he is a likely port of call. I think they might just save the AKs. It makes sense. Graffiti can drop another AK. As can Exorcist. And that is the decision. 5 then for Heroic. Initial hold, especially from Cheetah, looked fabulous. LNZ, as mentioned, chimed in well. He's had a tough series. I mean, you don't expect LNZ to be right at the top of the scoreboard. But yeah, he's been hard done by a lot of these duels. Not this time, though.
Okay. Peace treaty at the end of the round. Immediate buyback in. Plenty in the arsenal here for 3D Max. Though no longer a super brittle heroic, there is some resilience here, at least to fight for overtime, should this go against them. Smoke into the mid-house. Red room blocked off. And a heavy utility exchange. Not any aggression behind it just yet, though they're starting to make their moves. LNZ trying to hold on to this ground. Molotovs force him out of it, so he can't hold on to Cheetah. Jaguar. Whatever you want to call it. There's a bird there, too. We could call it bird.
That
Young
would get
Star
confusing.
collects the first. Trades available. Both players cleaned out a donut. That's massive from Lucky. Barely clinging on to life, but clinging on he is, and that's all that matters. X-Cloud's going through this. X-Cloud's going through this. Look at the timing. They have no idea. Walker's found a kill. Oh, no. He reveals his presence, and it's only one. That could have been the round. That could have been it. Instead, now it falls to Tenier to try an insane clutch, and phasing through a smoke will not be the answer he's looking for.
In some respects, it is very lucky for 3D Max. The first player that gets spotted is the one with no HP. He goes down, instant trade. If it's the other way around, I mean, my God, if there's a player alive in Donuts, getting the bomb down, getting on the site, suddenly becomes a huge problem. But the dominoes do not fall in that direction for Heroic. 7 chances. It was 6 on map 1.
This one even more dramatic. Aggression again from LNZ. There's more limits to the utility. Spent a lot of it to try and go for that first foray, and look at this stack up in A main.
They've just come so good in the last 10 or so rounds. This is a very competitive early start to the game, but now 3D Max are looking formidable. Body applying massive pressure here, but gives it up. Switch up to mid. Tenier's on location. Maka goes looking. Does the head present? Lots of damage. And Tenier gets it done.
That's why they brought him in.
Yeah, it looks a bit dicey, but that second kill was brutal.
That big step up. That's all you need sometimes. To be reclaimed. There's 3 players here. It's a shooting gallery. Uh-oh. They're committing everything to this, but Sampayas will seal the deal on the final kill. Heroic nearly regretting their decision there, but 3D Max can't quite punish. So, the comeback starts. It's a long road yet. But this is how it starts.
For what it counts, they have done it before. Something I would like to see is, and, you know, not that 3D Max didn't do this on Anubis, but use those pauses, slow the game down, let's make the most of each of these buys. First one coming up here is somewhat limited. Tech 9 out for Ecstasy, Body, Mac 10, a lot of their util already expended in the hopes of gaining this map control. And in fairness, they have. Mid taken, B lane taken. Smoke onto Donut. But only the one left to hit a site, so need to be frugal. That Body, got to save that for the opportune moment. I think they wanted to take Red Room and then work off it, but X-Files are locking that down for now.
For the moment. Allows the rotation of Sampayas as well. He's on the right side of the map. If they can work Lucky through this, he's going to play the fade. This is a smoke setup to split A, but that does require that they manage to actually clean up Donut here. Not going to happen. X-Cloud, good for 2. Doesn't even require his teammates. They might find the space on towards A, but without any utility, this is going to be a nightmare of a plant, especially without Donut control. I'm not sure I'm seeing a path here for 3D Max. They'll give it a try. Going to take some really nice headshots out of them. There's the first. Sampayas not interested in being the second. There is a plant available here. He's going to jump across. Okay, run boosting in to try and get the kill. XCC wants to close the round, not just the bomb plant. He's trying to bait them in to find damage. Not going to happen.
So that went from a 4-on-2 to a 3-on-2 for Heroic because of a DC. Fortunately, for all of our sakes, it doesn't, and theirs, it doesn't play a factor. In the round, it was Youngster that fell out. Okay. So 2 down. 5 to go. If you're a Heroic fan. This one's going to be an eco. Guess we're still waiting for Youngster to reappear. Yes, we are. This one's an eco. You should certainly expect 8.
Unless. Look, all I'm saying is I saw that body clip in the first half. A little trickier to do here. Especially with Glocks.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to buy anything.
But what a way it would be to end the map in the series. Just confirm your spot in Dallas. There'd be nothing more NA than securing your spot in an NA event off of a Glock eco.
It'd be glorious. They could use it in all the trailers for Dallas. 3D Max qualify with a body 1-on-4 Glock. That would be something.
And with a Glock, he's catching bodies.
Need to work on that a bit, but you got time. Ooh. Which other teams then are going to do well off this VRS change? Of course, we've got Mongols, got Eternal Fire. If 3D Max can keep themselves at this sort of ranking, they're in a great spot to just get a lot of tournaments under their belt, aren't they?
I mean, they seem pretty ascendant with it.
I'm
Apparently,
not sure there's anybody
BC
else in
Game
that
is collecting
fray.
scalps, so they might be flying up the rankings pretty quick.
Yeah, there's teams that, if they can get in there, could do very well. It's a shame Saw couldn't hold on to the lineup they had last year. That would have been a great prospect. Maybe wildcard?
They've invested.
Maybe wildcard.
And they bought. We got a Tech 9 round.
But why?
This
Why
is
have they done
now.
this?
This is now a quintessential 3D Max round.
Why
This
have
is
they
how
done
you win.
this?
Do you not remember Anubis? Sorry, Dust 2? Whatever the last map was. They win these.
I think they've done this because they don't want to. They want to play gun rounds with full util.
Alan, they win these. It's over. The 3D Max
If you
on
say
Tech
so.
9s. Terrifying.
If you say so.
One of the most terrifying teams out there on Tech 9s. They have spent almost all of their util right off rip. So we're going to get a single smoke and a flash and then a bulldoze in towards cave, presumably. 3 players here. Heroic are reading it nicely. But here's the walk-in. They're taking the Jaguar space. Here comes the smoke. Better start running. Here comes the flash. LNZ. Deleted immediately. Now it's got to start getting nervy. The flashbang is good. The trade, eventually there. X-Cloud, though, good impact. 2 there. Massive. Trade out on Tanier. You didn't believe, Alan. You didn't believe. But now the belief is coming for you. Bomb's going to be planted. It's a retake. And there's an op on one of these players. Youngstar has to deliver on this rifle because some Pies is not going to have an easy time of it. Oh, he's got the first. Up on the pillar. Do they read the position? Lucky's got the first. Knows where the second is. And Lucky will end it. 3D Max on an eco. Tech 9's out. What did I tell you? They got him dead to rights. 3D Max are going to Dallas. Yeehaw! I told you.
Pardon
do I know
me.
ball or do I know